Welcome to another video by Blue River Diets. In today's video, we're covering some of the plants that we saw in New Caledonia within Crested Gecko habitat and how you can find some of these plants easily enough to incorporate into your bioactive setups. Let's get straight into today's video. To start today's video off with a bit of context, we went to New Caledonia and collaborated with Exotic Keeper to study the natural habitat of crested geckos. As part of their expedition, they collected lots of different data, including the natural flora found in crested gecko habitat, and we're sharing that with you guys now to make sure that you're able to create the most naturalistic enclosures for your crested geckos within captivity. The first plant on today's list is bird's nest fern. We spotted these within crested gecko habitat and they do grow absolutely massive. Observationally, we noticed that the centre of these plants seem to collect a lot of decaying matter and leaf litter, attracting lots of small insects and making a perfect microclimate for some of these species. We hypothesised that these big bird's nest ferns may make great hunting grounds for young and juvenile crested geckos. The great thing about these ferns is that they can be planted epiphytically, which means that they don't need to go into the substrate layer and can be placed high up in your enclosure, generating lots of coverage for your crested gecko. They're also a really strong and sturdy plant, so are going to withstand your crested gecko moving around its enclosure. Next up on our list is spike moss. This one here is peacock spike moss, which is really lovely, but you can also easily pick up many different species as well. We spotted these in New Caledonia with Exotic Keeper within the habitat of crested geckos. Now these types of plants are going to create lots of lovely ground cover in your bioactive setups. They're also going to help maintain excellent and stable humidity, and they're going to create lots of decent coverage for your springtail and isopod cleanup crews. The third plant on our list is hoya. We specifically saw hoya wax flowers within the crested gecko habitat, but you can pick up any type of hoya that you like yourself, and you can find them really easily. Now these plants are going to help to create lots of coverage within your enclosures. You can either plant them in the substrate or you can hang them in some hanging pots within your enclosure as well. The important thing to know about these types of plants is that they need to be able to dry out and they don't like to get too wet. They're a really nice sturdy plant with strong leaves, so they're going to be able to withstand lots of your crested gecko roaming around its enclosure. The last plant on today's list is this false aralia. Now, unfortunately, we didn't actually site this plant in New Caledonia, but we know from our field studies and lots of research that this plant is native to New Caledonia and found within some of the crested gecko habitat. Now, you can pick this plant up really easily yourselves, and this is great for a lot of vertical cover. You can pop it in your substrate layer and allow it over time to grow up really tall, creating lots of coverage for your crested gecko and making them feel super comfortable in their enclosure. Before we round off this video, we're going to cover a few of our top tips to make sure that you succeed with your bioactive setups and your live plants. Our first tip is to make sure that you're providing an adequate full spectrum light LED system to your enclosure. This will make sure that your plants are able to photosynthesize and do their job properly and make sure that they do grow well within your enclosure. Our second tip is to make sure that you're planning out where you're going to plant certain plants within your enclosure. For instance, plants that prefer a little more indirect and low light are planted in the shaded areas, and that plants that prefer it to dry out a little bit may want to be further up in the enclosure underneath your heat source. Our last tip is to make sure that before planting any plants within your enclosure, you remove all of the soil and clean off the roots. This makes sure that you're removing any pesticides and that you're not going to put any unwanted slugs or snails within your enclosure. I hope that today's video has given you a little bit more inspiration on some of the plants you can use within your crested gecko enclosures. And I'll see you in the next video.